Wow, ding dong, the witch is dead, hide your toes because I'm under the bed. Guys, welcome back to this exciting update. The very last time that the 21-week moving average met exactly with the bottom of this trend line right here was back at the beginning of 2019, and what we saw immediately after was an extremely large pump, over $1,000 in a single daily candle. This trend line is extremely crucial, this structural trend line. It has not been broken save for a few wicks and some candles closing, but immediately going back above that. Will Bitcoin hold here? And if it doesn't, what could happen to the market? Aside from holding right at the 21-week and 50-week simple moving average, we also have Bitcoin here trying to bounce above this 50-day moving average as well. Bitcoin currently in the no man's zone, trying to form some sort of a pattern. In fact, yesterday's pattern played out perfectly and did break out to the target, but you do see this 50 moving average coming down to find a little resistance there, but it's also being squeezed in between this 21 moving average here. Will Bitcoin break to the upside? Will we stall out for a little bit? We have to delve into that. And here's a perfect illustration on the weekly chart. Again, the 50 and 21 moving averages on this weekly chart coinciding perfectly here. If Bitcoin is able to find resistance and get a bounce to at least the target that we talked about, it's needing to break that $9,200, then boys, maybe we're in for some sunshine. So guys, turn off those dirty videos, clean your socks, and let's get into this video. Wow, thank you guys so much for joining me here on this special early update. We have so many things to get into. But guys, if you're new to the channel, we're doing this giveaway. You know what? We're actually going to give this is the video you need to comment. To win a ledger, all you have to do is comment on this video. Guys, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, ding that bell, and we will actually give that ledger away in the next video. As well, today is the first day that we launched this new project. It is an ever-growing experience. There's so many things that we're going to do with this. If you want more information, just hit the link in the comments or the link in the description. And because it is the first day, we're doing an emergency 55% off if you use the code HOTDOG, and that will be for the first 20 people that sign up. So the first 20 people input the code HOTDOG and you'll get 55% off. So guys, really jumping into this chart, we can take a look at this falling wedge that we saw break out yesterday, okay? So yesterday when I was making the video, it was very early, it was similar to this time, a little bit earlier actually, and we were right about here in the breakout, and we actually did attain kind of the breakout target for this small pattern on the 4-hour chart, but you do see we run into a bit of a slowdown here at the 50 moving average right here. You can see it wicked right to here, and now it's kind of getting squeezed in between both of these guys, but this was able to bring Bitcoin back above this 21 moving average here on the 4-hour. So that's important. We need to keep an eye on that. As for right now, if we look at this chart, it looks like some very much sideways consolidation. If you notice, you look on this chart over the past few weeks and months, you notice we don't really spend a lot of time doing something like this. So I am beginning to think, again, we are going to see a move one way or the other. But guys, if we actually take a look out and really look where we're at on this chart, it's pretty critical. It's a pretty critical zone, okay? We basically have to find some support and move up from here, even if it's only short term, even if we're going to continue down. Okay, for this to remain healthy for right now, again, we need to get a bounce here. Look at this. We have the 200-day moving average right here. Okay, that's where we fell through it temporarily, tried to find support, bounced, and now we're currently just really trying to do that. And to better illustrate that, actually, look at this, you guys. So this is the weekly chart. And again, if we go to the daily, you can see this same moving average is right here, this yellow line right here. But if we go to the weekly, you see that the 50 weekly moving average and the 21 weekly moving average are right here, also exactly where this line is. So basically, what needs to happen is Bitcoin needs to get a move up over the next few days and really cement this. It could trade sideways for a little bit, but it basically needs to go up. Otherwise, this is going into very fishy territory. And as well, we do have to take a look at these markets. We have to see how today plays out for these markets because, again, they could have a big impact on how this moves. But for right now, Bitcoin basically needs to perform pretty nicely here because we're in a very, very tight spot. Okay, we had a massive weekly candle from 10,000, over $1,500 last week. We went down. Okay, now it's not similar to this drop in the sense that this drop was actually caused by breaking through that 21-week moving average. Okay, so this was a descending triangle right here, and when we broke through that, when we actually broke through that 21-week moving average, right as we broke that, you guys can see we went from 9,800 all the way down to 7,700 in a single week. Bounced around a little bit, and you notice even after this insanely large dump, there was a pretty big pump back up. Okay, same thing here. We had a really large dump here after, that was prolonged dumpage, and eventually we did get another pump back up. This time we got a very sharp dump. So to see another similar dump that size, I just don't think it's likely. Also, this would destroy market structure if it did do that. Now, we do have to talk about this 200 moving average here on the weekly. Okay, so this is where it really bottomed out, that $3,000 level back at the end of 2018, the beginning of 2019. Now, one thing you notice is we didn't come straight down to this, okay? Once we actually broke through this 50 moving average and as well broke underneath this 21 week moving average, it took quite a long amount of time for us to go down to here. So let's say a worst case scenario would happen. Let's say we did break this. It wouldn't make sense that we would come straight down to this level at all. You know, if that would happen, that would have to play out over a very long period of time, most likely. There's so much resistance and support, so much support underneath us here. If we actually zoom out again, guys, look at this chart going back the last 2 years. Actually, critically right now, we're in a very strong spot. But again, that 8,200 is just massive. There's so much volume there, okay? And if we zoom out and just show, again, we looked at this the other day. This has insane amounts of volume right here. And then as well, this 7,000 is absolutely massive. Now, let me actually minimize this so you guys can see this. Look at this right here. My camera was blocking it in the last video, but look at this. This area where we bottomed out is by far the biggest amount right here. And now, obviously, you see some stuff down here maybe. That would be, I mean, that's $1,000. So, like, basically, the bearish of the bearish people, even if we go on like another 2 years of downtrend, they don't think we'll go below 1,000. So that's the absolute lowest, even the most bearish people think. If we did go below 7,000 again, guys, it would break this, okay? This is like, this red line represents our lowest target right here where we have to bounce and wick. Okay, that's the very lowest because again, this line would be destroyed then if that would be the case. But I think optimally, the best move that we could have right now, if we opened and had a pump up to this $9,200 level, that's what we're looking for on the upside to get bullish, because we're not bullish currently in the short term. To get bullish in the short term, we need to hit that $9,200 range. A million reasons why. Okay, the 50-day moving average is probably one of the most key areas, and it puts us back into some nice safe territory there. And actually, as we're recording the video, we do see a move happening now. So going from 8,900, currently about a little under $200 going below that, we're trying to test this moving average right here, the 21 here on the 4 hour. Okay, so if we're actually consolidating into this move here, we could potentially seeing a move up. Now, I've looked at these charts. I don't necessarily see any type of clear pattern on like the 4 hour necessarily here. But again, on those bigger time frames, we see potential patterns. And again, if we want this head and shoulders to complete, we really need to see some momentum over the next few days. A pump to 9,200 would be the start of it right here. Breaking this 21-day moving average, and then we could potentially climb back up and retest there. That is by far the bullish scenario. So guys, make or break times, this is definitely the calm before the storm. There is, okay, this is the decision period here. You know, looking at this chart, there's no clear pattern of, you know, which exact way it wants to go, but there is a pattern of where it needs to go if this is to remain healthy. And I did want to mention something else here as well. So guys, we're on about a 2-month uptrend right here, right? And we have a pullback. So if, you know, what was the point of the golden cross? What was the point of all these bullish indicators and everything that everyone was talking about for the past 2 months? What was the point if we're just pulling back? And I want to say this, you know, if it is in fact a bullish trend now, you know, because there's so many confirmations we broke out of that bearish trend, and if we're on a macro bullish trend now, the difference and the thing that I want to point out is that what we will see is similar things to what we just saw, that dip there, very similar to like when we're in a bearish trend. Okay, and we see massive pumps up that immediately get rejected and jump back into the trend. So basically what I'm saying there is it's very possible, only if this is a confirmed bullish trend, okay? Only if this is bullish, that what we're seeing now is like the opposite of the bearish trend. Because remember, bearish and bullish trends are different and they trade differently. But overall, if we're in an actual bullish trend, this thing is going to jump right back into the bullish trend, even after a significant pullback here. But again, we have to wait for confirmation of that. We got the golden cross. We got all of these moving averages getting smashed through in a good way, you know, breaking up over the past few months. And again, with this 2-year bear market so far, with this pattern, everything that we did, every time that we went back up, as you can see here, you know, look at this the opposite way. This would be like a dump for us now, and then this would be a pump for us now. So every time this went up, people were thinking, oh, maybe it's going back up, but the overall trend was just very bearish, and that's how the bearish trend is. So in fact, if we're actually breaking out into a bullish trend at the if we were, this would be the very, very beginning of it. Okay, and there are already so many confirmations, like we mentioned, about the moving average and everything, but if we are breaking into the bullish trend, then we will see pullbacks like this that over time very quickly will get brought back into a bullish trend. So we would need to see a bounce. And again, if this is actually a bullish confirmation, the first thing we need to do is break that 9,200. And as well, I did just want to end the video talking a little bit about this, okay? So anybody that signs up, it's a one-time purchase. Anybody that purchases this has this for life, okay? And we're going to be adding more and more every single week, okay? We're going to be adding so many things. Currently, there's about quite a bit of content here that we have up on here. But again, guys, so many things, and so many things we can do with this as well. All of the details are here if you guys want to read and check out what it is. But again, if you're interested, 55% off today for the first 20 people with the code HOTDOG at checkout. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.